Good Morning America. Well, not everybody watches this is in America.
Who is not America?
Are we live?
There's actually quite a few. Yeah, we are live.
We have some not American people.
Oh, absolutely.
Hello, not Americas.
Good
We've got Canadas
morning,
and Russians
Discord.
and Europe's.
Which is a quote
like
from
England.
Good Morning Vietnam.
I know what
like
Europe
that.
is.
Well, that's what we'll like.
Father.
I think we got some people who live in Germany. I think we got people like from all over. It's actually kind of fun. It's interesting. I don't know. I find it neat. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. I can say morning because it's still 11:45.
That's why I yelled Good Morning Discord.
Good morning, spaghetti.
It's actually
Good morning,
pretty cool from
Mr.
Good Morning
Blades.
Vietnam.
How are you today? Hopefully you got your coffee situation under control.
I have caffeine.
I don't.
Oh, I do
Actually, I'm
not.
the only one here without caffeine.
I'm not used to coffee.
It's
with
because you
caffeine.
haven't learned yet that the first thing you do in the morning is to run for the coffee.
Well, you guys never offer.
Boil
I
yourself
always
up.
offer you. That's when I get another cup here. Do you want me to go get you a cup while you take over the stream?
I wouldn't mind.
I was
All right.
stupid.
Well, I'm
I
still
thought
drinking
I
my
got-
cup, but when I refill it,
I thought I got
hit you up.
decaf crystals, instant coffee, and I didn't.
and I wasn't paying attention. I'm like,
What?
man, this
dissolving.
these decaf instant grounds are like way different than like normal coffee instant grounds. It's because it wasn't instant. It was just decaf coffee grounds that I scooped and put into her coffee cup. I'm like, oh, that's why.
I have a
Good.
craft.
I'm glad that you have coffee.
I have a craft. So like tomorrow, I'll take my coffee over to Jasmine's house and I'll just make a pot over there and put it in the craft. She's gonna be like, why can't you do this over at your house? Like, I have no coffee pot.
Hello, person.
Jasmine is our neighbor, by the way.
Yes, she's very nice.
I keep trying to tell her that she needs to provide context.
Sorry.
No, it's alright. It reminds me
a mental
of
thing.
Venom 2, where Venom's on stage and he's talking about like how Eddie's been keeping him repressed and like...
No, he's walking down the thing and goes, we are out of the Eddie closet.
Yeah, but the thing is, like nobody there knows like what he's talking about.
They didn't care. They were too interested on his like quote unquote costume.
But you're missing my point. You still remind me of Venom in that scene.
I love your costume.
Hashtag pockets on blood and beans.
I love your costume. Is it Japanese? No, I made it myself.
Good morning, Michael. How are you?
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Happy Sunday.
And
Good
you know what?
morning.
I'm proud to be compared to Venom. I'd be proud to be compared to Deadpool. You know why? They both kick ass.
You can tell that Pockets' coffee was spiked with like caffeine
I
today.
told you it was gonna make me zingy. You should have just made me tea.
And
I'm
then
gonna
let
have to go
Shiloh
and
drink
run
the
around
coffee.
the yard for 10 times.
And
like
let
a dog.
Shiloh drink the coffee.
Yeah. I like this one.
It's funny because I'm raising a little caffeine addict.
Dude, I was
grew up so
okay,
fast.
I was drinking nothing but coffee for how many
Gremlin
years?
noises.
And my
I don't know.
sleep still was not good.
I'm still going.
And my doctor told me to switch to tea because it's detoxifying. And
Coffee
it's
does
also,
not make your sleep better. At all.
It makes it worse. I know that. That's why my doctor told me to cut out the coffee because I was drinking coffee literally 24/7 or Pepsi.
No!
Well, I don't blame any of my problems on coffee.
Dad,
I blame every one of my accomplishments on
Big snake.
coffee.
big snake.
Well,
Is that
you
Pokemon
didn't
Sword?
have the night terrors I was
Are you
having.
happy that I found it
Yes.
and have kept it safe for you?
Very.
You know, I told you that I had that. I told you that I found it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, when I cleaned your
No.
bedroom. When you came home, I told you, I was like, by the way, I found
I thought that was
Pokemon Sword.
Pokemon Moon.
No, I found Pokemon Sword, and it's been in my Switch case. Shiloh has just discovered that I have
Stolen, very rudely.
found her Pokemon Sword. I cleaned... Did I still leave the Monday nail up? I thought I put it up for Sunday. Did I put up the... No, it says Sunday
Is
morning.
North Korea bombing
At least
us?
on my computer it says Sunday. Last week's was
I got
Monday.
it in my new-
Good morning,
They're
Devane.
America's
I
oldest
don't, did I
fucking
say Monday?
No.
Oh, the title. The title. I never changed the title. Gotcha. Thank you. It is now changed. I'm sure it like won't show up right away for you. Sorry about that. Explanation, because last week was Memorial Day weekend and Blood and Beans wasn't until Monday. And just to make it easy on myself, I always reuse the settings for the previous week. I did update the number, like from 58 to 59 and stuff, but I changed the thumbnail, but I forgot to change the actual title back. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. That is a leftover byproduct from last weekend's extravaganza.
Easy.
It's Jabba.
Ow!
Why are you yelling at Jabba? If he's beating up on Oreo, he has a reason.
Good plan.
Yeah, he's fine.
Oreo's a garbage bag.
Hey, he's playing with him.
I love that garbage bag.
He does not shake his ass to attack something, Oreo. He shakes his head.
Which is weird.
Like, dude, we can see
There's
where
something
you
very
are now
wrong
that
with
you're
that
shaking
cat.
your head. Normally, cats shake their butt.
If,
no one knows they're there.
If the music is too loud, again, if it's quiet, just let me know. As again, changed up the music a little bit. Here we are back to some chill lo-fi hip-hop.
Sorry for the Pokemon music, by the
Kind of
way.
like mood. She's happy since she's got Pokemon Sword back.
You're waiting.
For Blood and Beans, I'm going to see if I can find my Breath of the Wild strategy guide. I don't know where it is. And it's like a giant book. Did Monica get Breath of the Wild?
No, she doesn't have a Switch.
She has a Wii U.
Ow. I don't know if she has it. She doesn't have a Wii U. She does not have a Wii U.
Yes, she does. She's a black one. She's got a Wii and a Wii U. I might have let her borrow my strategy guide.
You can't text her on Facebook anymore.
Yes, you can. She made a new one.
That's not. No. She did not.
Well, I put in Monica Petrowski and Mo Peppy.
That's old.
Yeah, it's an old
That's
account.
really old.
She might be using that one.
That's her old
She's
account.
not.
Because she made.
Her account didn't get deleted, Mom. She deleted it herself. I don't
Yeah,
want to talk
I know.
about family issues on the
Stream.
stream.
So
I'll talk to you.
that should just come off then, shouldn't it?
No.
I'll talk to you about it after the stream.
No, that's not how Facebook works. It's so... She's not really asking about the family thing. She's asking
No,
a technology question.
Yeah, like.
And no, it's not how that works. But
So-
I can still get a hold of Monica if I
Okay,
want
good.
to. All I gotta do is call her.
Yes,
I
or
just
no.
wanted to see how she's doing that.
I put her number on there.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
call
you
her.
did in the phone book?
Anyway, hi everybody. Hi Chad.
Cool. I am glad that it is perfect. I am glad that the music is perfect. It's not too loud or too quiet. I usually go too quiet because I'm like way too paranoid that I'm gonna make the music like super loud.
Something funny
But
happened the other day.
Seem to fight as long as I don't go crazy. It's usually fine.
Faye
Who's a cat?
she's a cat. she's a mama cat of 4 kittens. She put her head in a hole of a small bag of cat food. Then couldn't get it out and drag it all the way across the kitchen. It was hilarious. I should have videoed it for you guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
video.
I did not see.
It was hilarious. She was
Video.
like doing the moonwalk backwards with a bag on her head. It was so funny. She hasn't done it again. And the cat running around, bag on its head. Ah, help me!
Confronting Evil Season 1 finale red carpet event for cast and crew was Friday, which is a private screening
That
for
was fun.
all Season 1 cast members and crew members. It is the video that is coming out this coming Saturday. And I'll tell you that, I mean, it went over very well. Everybody that watched it did very much enjoy it. So I'm very much looking forward to releasing it to all of you.
You think I'm like this on caffeine, dude? You're like 10 times worse than me.
I
and I'm a
moved
child.
and just everything started to fall.
Relax, yo.
Everything falling.
It's because she doesn't drink normal coffee, like, ever. So Mom
can't
getting a normal
help
coffee is like you and I drinking
And
like
it's a
4 cups of
regular-
normal coffee.
And it's a regular sized cup, too. This is the sad part.
Yes, I got you just a normal cup of coffee. But so yeah, I've been playing through some Castlevania 4. That's, I guess, worth mentioning. I don't know if it's really worth talking about. What's going on in your life? This kid just got a cat cafe manager game.
And then I beat it, and then I forgot to save. So.
Poor kid.
You beat it?
I beat it in 2 days.
She's your kid. You really are
Holy
amazed?
shit.
I played it a lot.
She did.
on it the
She
whole
was
time?
up till I went to bed on, well, I would say Friday night, but it was Saturday morning at 3:30
Yep.
in the morning, and I'm walking down the hall to go to bed, and I see her light is on. It's like, go in her room, and I'm like, get some sleep at some point, and that's what she was doing. She was up
And last night, too.
all night. Yeah, last night too. She was up with me, and I was up till about 2:30 because I was playing around in the game room,
I was up till 4.
trying to rip my way through Castlevania 4. I've played it on the Classic, the Super Nintendo Classic, and I didn't like cheese it with, like, you know, using the save states and stuff like that. But I would like to try and beat it on the original hardware. So that's where the brain is at.
Brain.
So I would say ask Shiloh what's going on in her life,
Brain.
but apparently her life is all cat cafe managing and
I don't know why, but I've
Pokemon.
like, been really into into gaming at like this moment,
it's
and I don't know why.
since we got the second arcade machine.
Like Super Mario 3D World, I've been playing that a lot and trying to 100% it. I'm on Champions Road in this too.
She's trying to 100% Super Mario 3D World. And I mean, it's doable except for Champions Road, because you have to do it with all 5 characters.
Yeah, but like
Or you could bubble
it's
them.
kind of like you with Ninja. I don't have separate controllers. It's kind of like with you and Ninja Gaiden. Like once you learn the ballet of Ninja Gaiden, as Dad says, it's kind of like that except with Champions Road.
Ninja Gaiden is. In the old NES games, it's very much like a choreographed ballet. It's notoriously difficult. It notoriously respawns enemies infinitely at trigger points. But once you memorize everything in the game, it's very fast-paced. So you just jump, hack, slash, wall cling, kill something else, use this here, and it's fast. As everything comes at you, you're just killing it instantly. And yeah, it's addicting, and it's very much like a ballet. So apparently she's learning the ballet of Champions Road.
Yeah. Also, I've been on the Cat Cafe game a lot. I 100% of Bowser's Fury, so that's kind of.
Yeah, even I haven't done that yet.
It's really easy.
It's really easy.
No offense to all the people that can't do it.
You really haven't started like getting the second wind into video games until I got the second arcade machine.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm like.
And ever since she stepped in there, like, she liked everything with the arcade machine in there, the old one. But then, like, I put the second one in there, and, like, she was like, oh, it's like an arcade now. Like, it's like the second arcade machine just made all the difference. And I have to agree, even to me, just kind of made all the difference in the world in there. So ever since...
I wonder who said to you to get that.
Oh, I know. Best wife in the world. Good morning. How are you, Fuzzy? It is... Well, it is exactly noon.
Hey, Dad.
Good afternoon.
While you were cleaning
Or
my
good,
room,
or good noon.
while you were cleaning my room, did you find the strategy guide to this?
Nope.
No.
Dang it.
I did not find a strategy guide for Pokemon Sword or Shield.
Because I have the strategy guide. I used to use it all the time. And No idea what.
I do not. I can't find my Breath of the Wild one either. But yeah, Pockets isn't. Good morning, creepy clown girl. Good afternoon. Pockets is an amazing wife. I think I've said this before, but yeah, we were shopping for a TV for the bedroom. I was looking at the TV. Looking at the TVs, thinking I needed another one. Was contemplating getting another one for the game room because the flat screen in there doesn't have a coax hookup. And I wanted to plug in a TV antenna. And I guess I really don't need to spend a couple $100 or $150 or whatever on analog TV for the game room. I'm not really watching TV in there anyway. And then she turns around because the arcade machines are right behind us, and Pocket says, "Well, why don't you just get one of these? If you're gonna get a TV, just get one of these instead." And they had the Miss Pac-Man 40th edition arcade machine on sale for $200, and it was just a little bit more than the TV I was thinking about getting. So I was just like, "Yep."
Why don't you just get this?
I jumped right on it, like, that's a great idea. We'll just grab this, and I drug it myself over to the I self-checked out that shit.
I know.
I didn't even go through the line. I went right to self-checkout, scanned it. Just barely fit in the little car I was driving. I was a little bit nervous that I wasn't going to be able to get it home, but it worked. Got it home.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't going to
get And it's the one I wanted, because it's not just a Miss Pac-Man machine, but it's the 40th year anniversary edition. So it's got 9 other games on it for 10 games total on one cabinet. Dig Dug, Galaga, Galaxian, Rolling Thunder. Like, it's got a lot of really good games on that machine. So I love it.
I was very proud of myself, I think.
I do play on that at least a little bit every day.
He does.
Well, it's hard at this point to walk past the game room to go to bed because the door is right there on my left as I walk by it, and I know there's arcade machines in there. And see, Atari games aren't about winning games. Atari games are about points. They're about high scores. So it's nothing to... I think I'm going to just jump in the game room and play a quick game of Galaga, and lasts, 10, 15 minutes, and then I turn it off and I go to bed, so...
Which is not the normal amount, by the way. Dad's heckin' weird.
What do you mean it's not the normal amount? For a quick run of Galaga? That's about right. About 10 minutes. So, please excuse my wife coughing to death in the background.
I'm smoking, I'm allowed.
No, you're not.
So,
Dairy
but yeah, I do get my money's worth out of it. I try to, if I'm going to spend the money on something like that, I want to make sure that I'm actually using it and I'm enjoying it. A lot of people get them as conversation pieces because they immediately spark up a conversation.
But why spend so much money on something you're just going to conversate about and not use?
Because
it's like a waste.
Because most people aren't going to play Ninja Turtles every day. Especially when you have infinite quarters. There's really, you play on it a while and then you get bored with it. You can very easily. Unless you have really strong nostalgic interest in it. A lot of people will get them in like nice big houses and put it like between the dining room and the living room, like right in that little walkway. So when people walk in, they see like this brand new looking arcade cabinet sitting there, and sometimes people will play it, or people will put them in like their dens for their buddies when they come over, like for like a bar night or something like that. But we don't do that. My stuff is literally in a back room. It's in my game room, and it's not part of the rest of the house, both arcade machines. And I don't bring everybody back there. It's not like I just, every time somebody, a neighbor or whatever, comes over my house, that I walk them back and be like, hey, take a look at these arcade machines and all these game systems and all these hundreds of video games I have. And it's not something I like just run around bragging about, and it's not something I run around showing off, because you never know who's going to be just eyeing up your stuff. So, but I do bring people back there that I trust. Good morning, Sneed. How are you? Or good afternoon at this point. I'm still pretty damn good at Miss Pac-Man. I'm okay at Pac-Man, and on the Atari, ask Pockets. Like, I'm good on the arcade machine. Throw me on an Atari 2600 and let me play some Miss Pac-Man. I will keep that game rolling for like a half an hour. I love Miss Pac-Man. Batman and Superman, what's going on? Huh. That's pretty cheap.
Dad, you should say the names of people when you're reading out there.
Sorry.
So people don't, yeah.
Well, it's
Well, it's not,
right there.
I know, but it's more entertaining. The art of streaming.
Don't know, Sneed. I am a very busy person, and I really haven't had a chance to check out his channel in a while. I have an original PlayStation 1 Creepy Clown Girl.
Yep.
Wow, that's really an original PlayStation 1 with one controller is going for $300.
Yep.
See, this is why I don't.
Get rid of our shit.
People wonder too. Like I've had my old boss ask me, he's like, like your Nintendo 64 that you brought in and all these games, that's probably worth like some money. Why don't you think about selling some of this stuff?
Because I'm not stupid.
Like, why? So I can work and make money to buy things that I enjoy, like video games. Like it doesn't make sense to sell it so I can work and make money to buy it again. So that's why my game collection and my game room it's not massive. These guys think my game collection is massive. It's not. I've seen, and I know Shiloh has too, I've seen people on YouTube and people that consider themselves game collectors, like they have like thousands on shelves all around the room, like an entire, hey, I have a complete NES collection and stuff. I don't have a complete collection. I have like, I don't know, 60, 80 games somewhere around there for the old Nintendo, but definitely not 800. So I do have a decent collection, enough to call my room a game room, but it's not like massive like Pockets and Shiloh say that it is.
When we say massive, we say there's a lot of games. Since we've acquired that...
But that's what I'm saying is there's a lot of people on YouTube like that I've seen that have game rooms have a lot more
I
games.
understand that. I'm saying we, now having the Pac-Man machine, we now have 30 game consoles. That's including all the handhelds.
I don't consider consoles arcade machines. Arcade machines are not game consoles.
They're arcade machines.
There's something to play games on.
Yeah, but it's not a game console.
They're more like a...
We actually have more than that now because we had 29 before we even bought the arcade machine, and I've acquired more systems since that.
Okay.
So,
34?
probably. Somewhere around there.
Good with numbers. Like
The
that.
Batman and Superman are figures. Oh, okay. Cool. So they're the big figures. Now I could see them going for quite a bit. I mean, they're probably pretty hot items for collectors. I have not. I know some of the games, though, like, some games go for a ton of money. And I don't really have, like, any super rare ones. The most expensive game I think I own is Mega Man. The original Mega Man. And that, I think, is now, it's worth, like, $100. I don't think I own anything more expensive than that. I'd have to, I mean, I have good games, like I have Secret of Mana, I got Contra 3, and these are all Super Nintendo stuff. But again, like I don't know how much they're worth. That's why I didn't know how much like just a PlayStation and a controller was. Like, wow, that's actually quite a lot of money. I didn't realize that because I have a PlayStation 1. It literally sits on my shelf full of games. Because I don't need it, because I have the PlayStation 2 hooked up, which plays PlayStation 1 games. So I have systems put aside and systems all hooked up, but they are all in one place. Yes, and that's exactly, like I'm a normal person collector, and I wouldn't even really call myself a collector. I mean, I guess I would, But I'm not like out to try and gather stuff for the collection unless like I really come across something that's like, oh, this is cool. It's not like I need to go out and like, oh, I gotta buy like the rest of this collection or I need the rest of this. Like I'd really like Castlevania 3 for the Nintendo because I have 1 and 2. I'd like Double Dragon, the first one, because I have 2 and 3. I would like to complete those like mini collections, the sets of the games. I have all 3 Ninja Gaidens now, which is awesome. But I'm not like a collector. It's just I don't get rid of my stuff. I don't like, if I'm needing money, like it's not like, well, I need money, so I guess I should sell some video games. And I guess
so. I wouldn't even let you do that.
A lot of people do that, but I won't. Like that's the treasure. So I guess I am a collector. I just don't really consider myself one, but I suppose I am.
Anyway.
I know.
I'd be like, no.
No, I have once. When I had the Wii U, I needed a little bit of money, and I went and I sold some Wii U games back that I didn't play, and I actually am still kicking myself over that. Shouldn't have done that, because I ended up having to go back out at one point and buy Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Yep. I sold Tropical Freeze. I sold Donkey Kong Country Returns, so I sold both the Donkey Kong Country games back. So I kind of missed out. Like, I was stupid to do that. But if anybody that's seen like the shelf that I have up there now in my game room, like the stuff where I have my games aren't just stacked on the floor anymore. Like I do have almost one entire length of shelf devoted to all Wii and GameCube games. So I do still have a pretty decent collection of Wii and and Wii U games. Well, not Wii U. I think I got like 4. I got like 4 Wii U games. The rest are all downloaded. That was the great thing about the Wii U is you could plug in extra, flash drives into the back. Yep. So I got a ton of stuff downloaded to my Wii U. So, but yeah, a collector or not, I don't know, but I do like the game. Lots of retro gaming. My favorite console of all time is the Super Nintendo, but I do play Switch. Shiloh picks on me a little bit because I'm a retro gamer. Well, you said that other people don't play games like that anymore because they don't have them.
Yeah.
They're not mainstream.
Well,
not making fun of me, but made comment. Sorry. I will try and be more specific. What are you looking up?
I'm on Twitter.
Oh, she's on Twitter. I guess I should have known. Sorry, tick means, hey, do this for me.
Yeah.
I was trying to be quiet so it wasn't going to the street.
Oh, no,
Thank you very much, asshole. Which is actually kind of funny, because if I call you an asshole, you call me a jerk.
I think I finally got Pockets agreed to play some video games. She wants me to re-download Final Fantasy X for her to my Switch.
And I actually want to play Bayonetta.
Yeah, she's talking about that was something I did not ever expect to hear out of my wife's face. I think I'm going to start playing Bayonetta. Like, what? Like, I've been trying to get her to come in the game room and play games with me for like 2 months.
You get another Roku TV and put it in there? You will have me in there. Why do you think I spend so much time in the bedroom?
You don't need Roku. Bring your laptop in there and plug it into the TV.
It's not the same thing. That doesn't have the Roku channel on it.
Don't need I'll get the Roku channel on the computer.
But then you have to pay for it. You don't have to pay for it.
I bet you I could get it for free. I bet you I could sign into your account and get it on the computer. Because that's my account. I set up the TV.
Oh.
Here. You can have Roku in the back. You don't even need to bring your computer. You have my laptop in there.
That used to be mine.
That used to be yours until you got a new one. I have the one with the broken screen that you have to connect to a TV. You really want that one back? We can trade.
No. If you have heavy cats, keep your laptops away from them.
Pockets is the great electronic killer.
I didn't do it. The cats did it.
How many laptops have you been through?
2.
No.
3. Well, no. 1 was a netbook.
2 were netbooks.
I gave you my netbook.
You had 2 netbooks because it broke. I had to fix it. I literally had to take it apart and connect the Wi-Fi wire back up to it to get it to connect to the internet. You broke 2 netbooks and you've had 3. This is your 6th laptop.
And what do I do with it? What do I barely? I
I know.
even
And you're
use it.
you
And
do
you have
good.
to teach me also, like you
You've
said,
been doing
how to
good.
dictate to the computer so I can finish writing you that goddamn story you want so bad.
Okay, it's not setting anything up. You literally just go to Google Docs
Don't tell me. I
on
don't know
Google
these
Chrome.
things. You know what you're saying to me? You know what it sounds like? It sounds like Charlie Brown's mother.
Go
'Cause
to
I don't understand it.
go to Documents. Do you know what Documents are?
Yes.
I'll let her.
Where?
Okay, Mom.
You just go to the thing and type in Documents.
Mom, you know
It'll
what?
bring you right to Google
No.
Docs.
Okay.
I'm like Amish.
Okay. I'm gonna teach you how to not be Amish. Number 1, support a different religion.
I don't know, Furry. I don't
Being
ask
rude
people
to all
those
the
kinds
Amish.
of
I'm
questions.
just saying, that's literally how you not be
Or
Amish.
Sneed.
Anyway,
Furry. See what you did?
what is
Sneed asked if any of my friends are furries. And I said, no, I don't really ask. No furry. I don't ask anybody those questions. I would say no Sneed. But yeah, I don't ask people those kinds of questions. I generally consider that somebody else's business.
what you do
I
is
don't even know what my cousin is something. I don't know what. I don't think it identifies as human, though.
Mom.
She's freaking weird.
Don't talk about family.
You go to
Okay.
you press G.
G,
You press enter.
enter,
You exit out of
whatever that says.
pop-ups.
This is not that challenging to go to Google Docs.
Then
It's not even hard to remember. Google
then,
Docs.
Mom,
Yeah.
you click. Go to Google All Apps. It's a waffle.
Boy.
Where is that? What is it? Google All Apps? Where is that?
Oh my God! Woman! It's right there!
Oh.
The waffle! I literally just told you.
I'm
Honey,
sorry.
she's not right now. It's not a good time.
She's the one doing it, not me.
Your mother has an attention thing. You know that. And she just had a cup of coffee.
Oh,
Just-
I have attention deficit disorder. It's fine. Hyperactive.
And then you go over
Yeah,
here.
you gave a hyperactive
Mom.
person a cup of coffee.
Shiloh. Stop.
Docs.
It's not going to work. I will show her later.
Okay, but how can I talk to it?
Okay, go to Tools.
Talk to
Now that you're at Docs.
What do you
So-
mean? How do you talk to it?
Yeah, talk to it.
I have
you don't
to
know you can
speak
do
to
this
it.
either? So go to Docs. Okay, now you went to Docs and you click New Document. New Document. So go up here to Tools. This
Yeah.
is why you have to be on Chrome. Voice typing.
Bees.
Not yet.
Bees. My thing doesn't have a mic.
Oh.
Neither does hers.
So you need a
She needs a
microphone.
mic.
So that's all. So you plug in my Snowball, or even you could just use this. Any microphone will do,
Yep.
because you're not recording yourself. It just needs to hear you talk. So you plug in a microphone, and you can just talk right to your
Okay.
thing.
Because I'm sorry, it's 2.5 pages. but I
Good
don't want
morning,
wasted.
leader. How are you? Happy
Sorry.
afternoon. It was morning, but I kind of yammered through it. Been talking about video games.
Did teach
I like
me
the
how to
apps.
use Google.
Right in there, most recently, how to use Google, but
Welcome to Shiloh and Sabian's advice on Google. How to Google 202.
not 101 because it's the advanced course.
That's why she said 202. I think I gave birth to a little Einstein.
I hope everybody is having a good day, having a good Sunday.
Oh,
No, I've been having a pretty
your
decent weekend.
progress report is excellent.
Yeah, you gave it to me. And then I
Definitely
wrote
after
it
this is
down.
over too, while I look for that instruction manual and download Final Fantasy X, I should check my phone. I have been checking my phone though the past couple of days just to make sure I've got no messages.
Messages.
Work's got me running 39 projects right now. So, and I've got things happening tomorrow. charging machines that got to get picked up and jobs that are starting, and I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything or accidentally send my boss 3 hours out of the way. That's a funny story. So before Memorial Day, I was kind of freaking out this past Monday. Here's a funny story. So before Memorial Day, my very first project, it was like Wednesday or Thursday. I was running like 28 projects last week. But like last minute, this new project came in, and hey, this just got pushed in. I know you're new. Ask if you need help from this person, but this needs to get configured so we can get the machines configured, and then that way we can get them out on Tuesday. So, which is the day after obviously Memorial Day, which is why the job was going to start on Tuesday. So I did everything I thought I was supposed to do, and did the deal the way I was supposed to. Got it over to Allocate so they could configure the machines. So Friday, my boss's boss asks me, really nice guy. He's the one I'm actually kind of terrified that's going to start yelling at me. He just seems like if anyone's going to, it would be this guy. But he's been incredibly nice. So I mean, I literally cannot say anything. Very, very thankful. But anyways, it goes, get a hold of the installer, the contractor, and just confirm that they're going to be starting next Tuesday. So I asked the guy, emailed him and said, hey, I just want to confirm. You said you're going to start Tuesday. Just confirming that, we'll be starting next week on Tuesday. And he emailed me back saying that is correct, ! Yada, yada, yada. So then I went and told my boss's boss, yep, confirmed for Tuesday start, no problem. Now, he wanted to be there. This place is in Vestal, New York. It's a 3-hour drive. He wanted to be there when they broke ground, this contractor on site. So I come into work on Tuesday, 8:04. I open up my computer. I'm getting everything set up, and I see I missed a phone call at 8:02. And it's from the contractor that's supposed to be out on site. And he says, there must be some kind of mix-up and with the communication. So I went and I looked at my email, and I see my boss's boss sent him an email. He included me on it saying, hey, I'm almost to the site. What time are you guys going to be there? Who am I meeting there? And the other guy left me a message 2 minutes ago saying there's miscommunication. So I check my emails from the week before, and then I read that email more carefully. And he said, yes, that is correct, ! But the yada, yada, yada part, he followed that with, we will be there Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday morning. So I asked him if it was Tuesday. He said, yes, that's correct. Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday morning. So it wasn't correct. But anyways, I read the email wrong. I didn't read it fully. I didn't give it enough attention. And now my boss's boss, was already there 2.5 hours away to drop off $1,000 charging stations at this job site and meet the installer. And I had to email him back and say, and own up to it. My boss's boss, the contractor, I fucked up. It's my fault. I failed to read the email correctly. The miscommunication is on my fault. I apologized. I told him it wouldn't happen again. I fully believed that this dude was I would scream at me. I've been screaming at me all week. I've been giving myself hell over this. He had a video call like an hour later, and he said, we'll just, make sure we focus on the details, dot the I's, cross the T's. I'm going to drop him off to, the client on site. He can keep him for the contractor. I did kind of turn it around and be like, all right, I'll just use this as a test for the company, because this is probably going to be my biggest screw up all year long. So if they take this well, I should be okay. And I was pleasantly surprised. Everybody was really understanding and just things have been moving fast. You've been learning a lot. We understand things happen. Just try and make sure it don't happen again. And never worked for anybody even close to like this. I've never worked for a company anywhere remotely like this. I really want to do good at my job. So I'm not like, oh, they're cool, I can slack off and just get away with shit. No, this is the job I want to put 150% into and really give back everything that they're giving to me. I really like this place. I really do. It's very exciting. It's a little nerve-wracking sometimes. It is a little, I'm handling some pretty big things, and can be a little bit scary. But it's so damn exciting. And they've gone from 5 employees to 50 in a year, and they're hiring another 30 by the end of the month. They install energy chargers for electric vehicles, so they do infrastructure, which is a very growing business at the moment. So I'm very excited. Very excited. So, yeah, big screw up last week. Kind of had a panic attack, and I do have some things starting tomorrow. Nobody's driving anywhere. They're picking up the machines 9 o'clock tomorrow morning at our office. They're already configured. I've triple checked everything that I possibly can. Everything should be good. So I am a little bit panicking in my mind, like, oh, just double check my phone, make sure.
You panic by nature.
But it's because I want to really do good at this job.
I know, but if you go over, it's like studying too.
No, I know, and I agree that I understand.
Fuck up.
I know that. I do. I know that.
One step at a time.
And that's why I've been trying to take it back a notch, and that's exactly what happened. That's how I misread that email, as I had so much going on and I was so nervous that I didn't take the time to read that email the whole way through more than once. I saw what I said and I got excited and I was like, yeah, it's Tuesday, and trying to do the next step because I knew thinking about what the next step is, and that's exactly what happened.
But it still showed. That's why they were like
high fiber.
Very probably all cool about it.
It is very, very exciting. I worked very, very hard to get like a job like this, and not just like, in the energy field. I mean, that wasn't really the point. No, this is the one from before. Sorry, I was talking to the family. But it's the part of being part of a startup company that treats employees well. They pay well. There's a lot of fringe benefits to it, like free Red Bull. I think that's kind of awesome. And it just seems like a place like I know this job will be there next year. As long as I don't get fired for doing something stupid. Put this up, baby.
It's fine.
I know the job itself will be there. I'll be able to retire from this place. I mean, that's really what I've been looking for. I want a career. Like, I liked construction. Construction was great. But I only worked 8 months out of the year at best because it's drywall finishing. And I live in New York, and it's cold 4 to 6 months out of the year. And that doesn't work well with mud. So that was an issue. I need to work all year round. But my last job, when I started out, it was good. I wanted to enjoy it. The boss I worked for was literally the worst boss I've ever had. He was an absolute tyrant, and I stuck it out there just so I could have some experience. And then I ended up with a new boss over there who's really wasn't much better. He was nicer to me, but at least my other boss always knew what I was dealing with. This guy, he was kind of two-faced and never really knew what to expect. When he yelled, it was like almost came out of left field. So then you start getting a idea of what's really going on. Anyways, and then beyond that, my job description changed. They kept wanting more and more out of me and taking tools away from me, which made absolutely no sense at all. And I wasn't happy there because the job wasn't about production. It was about finding reasons why you can't do your job, but don't say the real reason because corporate doesn't want to hear that. Literally, that's not an exaggeration. That was the job. So it wasn't fulfilling at all. I'm really happy I found this place. Really happy that they allowed me to work there. I have thanked everyone there for the opportunity that's been presented to me, and I do understand it's a golden opportunity. So this might finally be a place that I can start thinking about putting away money for retirement and eventually retiring from, which is cool to think about. Never really thought I'd be able to get to that, place. So, yeah, it's nice. I've even, I've stopped drinking at work. Like, I know, a few people that, have been around the Discord, my old job. I'd have my flask with me, do a shot at lunchtime or something. Like, I wouldn't get drunk or anything, but I'd have a drink or two while I was at work in my office. I don't do that anymore. Haven't touched it since I've started there.
And he comes home happy.
I do.
Which is nice.
Come home happy,
And
excited.
It's less tense in the house, especially
Even my kid Shiloh was,
during the day.
What was I doing?
happy that I quit tradesman.
Oh yeah.
We both were. He came home and we're like, well, I asked him, I'm like,
You're
Did you
not going to be
quit?
able to hear from over there. Just, you're way away from the microphone, off to the
I
side.
was trying to be
Got a beaten.
by the window so Shy wasn't smoked out. He came home in the morning, like 9 a.m. And with the way he came through the door, I went, quit, huh? He went, yup. And then he went into the whole story as to why. And then I'm like, okay, good job. And Shiloh was very
everybody
happy
was-
to hear it.
Under the basic general consensus, everybody was happy. I'd made the right decision. Nobody wanted me working there anymore.
We weren't even worried about
'Cause,
how he was going to get money.
well, I was. They might
He
not have
was
been worried. I was worried because
We were.
we need money. I may not have a whole lot, but I've worked really, really hard for everything that I have. And then, obviously with no job, you start worrying about all of that just getting flushed down the toilet. And I panicked. And I busted my ass for a couple weeks to find a job.
3 weeks.
Yeah, but the place I ended up working at, I probably didn't even... I could have stopped after week 1. Because they wanted me. I just had to do 4 interviews. And I wasn't able to start until the beginning of May.
Yeah. And we were, yeah.
So, there were a couple weeks there where I was hurting for money. And we're just starting to come out of that hole now.
Yep. Which is good.
Yes, very nice, supportive family.
Oh,
I
I
agree.
stood right behind him.
Agree. Without the
I-
family support, and friends too. Like, I mean, I had people helping me, throw me out job, people looking for work, job opportunities on LinkedIn or Indeed. I had to take an assessment test for Excel for not this job, but the other one that paid the exact same. It's actually a little bit closer and less hours a week. And it's not. I didn't want that job. It was document review for a legal company, making sure documents were legally compliant. Yeah, boring and probably pretty stressful as well. I was good with that.
No stress.
But anyways,
No
it was my
stress.
first one that was interested in me, and at that point, I needed a job. I needed any job. So I wanted to make sure that very first interview that I nailed it and at least had that place as an option. But I had to take an Excel assessment, like a pretty grandiose Excel assessment, and so I had to learn Excel. It's been a long time since I've used it. Mary P was really, really helpful with that, because she knows Excel really well. So she actually helped me not only do the test, but she helped me train. She says that I did most of the test myself, and I guess she's right because I rushed the answers. I'm like, I think it's this one, click, and then she'd be like, no, I found the answer. But I did pass. Good morning, Somber. How are you? Well, good afternoon. Almost morning. You almost made the morning. I know you were up probably pretty late. The only person I know, dude, is I'm so happy I have the house to myself, and then immediately passes out. I'm gonna get so much done. Oh, good
That's
times.
why I get up when I do. I do my stuff when I do, and then that's
There we go. The lo-fi wasn't kicking back in fast enough.
Oh, he's a big boy.
She's talking to the cat.
Mm-hmm. I don't...
They know.
Baba. Who's like a fish.
He's not a fish.
Yeah, he's more muscle than anything else.
I know.
He's like a freaking bass. I told them at the when I called the animal place our vet.
Man,
I
you were
told
up
him
late.
You're not going to be able to use the kitten scale with him.
I was up till 2:30. Yeah, probably no. I was up to 2:30 playing Castlevania 4. A few other things too. I was watching Kenobi with Shiloh. She had yet to catch the Kenobi series with me, so I went back and rewatched the first 3 episodes again, and showed her the epic 3rd episode of Kenobi.
It's really I was happy to see that it's.
What were your thoughts on Kenobi?
It was good.
Open up.
That's it. That's it.
It was good.
She's interested in her social media.
No, at the moment I'm trying to pretend like I'm not procrastinating doing schoolwork by being on the stream.
Oh. Well, you're not being on the stream when I'm asking you to offer your insights. You're like, nah, I don't want to talk about it.
I didn't say that. I said it's good.
Yeah, she says it was good. She was freaking out after the 3rd episode. She's like, that's it? That's it? Oh my god, that was epic. Like, she was... Yeah. She was pretty happy with it. She kind of watched the 1st episode. She kind of watched the 2nd episode. And she, was completely into the 3rd episode. So she really watched. Yes, you do. Oh my god, you haven't seen the 3rd one either? There's this thing about it at work. That's what the great thing is too at work. Like, everybody's a freaking Star Wars geek. Everybody I work with is a Star Wars geek. So the project manager and Lynn, who in the permitting department downstairs, they have been watching the Kenobi show as it's been coming out. And my boss and the new project manager that started this last week, they watch shows by letting the whole season come out, and then they'll go back and binge it. So we can't talk about the Kenobi show upstairs. You can only be downstairs in the basement offices, because those people have seen the Kenobi. We go upstairs, it's please watch, because we can't discuss. We can't discuss the awesomeness that is the 3rd episode unless you've seen it. It's really good. And, okay, good excuse. Move to a new apartment. And I get it. Rest up. No Wi-Fi. Understandable. Find a way to watch the 3rd episode of Kenobi. If you liked Revenge of the Sith, if you liked that movie, and you were waiting for a follow-up to that, then this episode is what you've been waiting years for. And obviously, I'm sure everybody knows that, yes, Darth Vader is in the 3rd episode. He is in the series. That's not really a spoiler. But I will drop this little bomb. It's Hayden Christensen in the suit. Maybe not all the time, but I can tell you it's him in the 3rd one. You can tell by his walk. Just by the way he walks and carries himself. And I'm so freaking happy that Hayden Christensen is back in Star Wars. And that's it. I mean, that's all the spoilers you're going to get out of me, and I wouldn't really even consider that a spoiler. That's just something to look forward to. It's going to go in the game room, too. I guess I probably should put the other strategy, or the Mario 3 strategy guide in there as well. That's awesome. I'm glad you saw the premiere. Yeah, and yes, it was very much leaked. But, I mean, even the creators, I hate to say it, but Kathleen Kennedy, I'm really not a big fan of her, but she leaked before the show was, even teased, the teaser came out. She leaked that, yes, Darth Vader's going to be in it. So, it's not really it was just it's part of the marketing material. Hayden being back is awesome. I'm so happy that Hayden is back. And everything I've seen of him so far, I'm not dropping any spoilers, but anything I've seen of him so far in the series, he's great. He's just freaking great. I'm so happy he's back. So happy he's back. This is what I've been waiting for. When they started announcing Star Wars shows on Disney Plus, cool. I was excited for, the Ahsoka show. I am really, I love Ahsoka Tano. Like, she's one of my favorite characters. Loved Rebels. I like that Ahsoka, the show, is going to be like a live action follow up to Rebels. That's going to be really cool. So I'm pretty excited for that. The Mandalorian, I wasn't. I was like, it's a show about a Mandalorian and it's not Boba Fett. Like, everybody wanted a Boba Fett show. And then the Book of Boba Fett came out, and I was pretty excited about that, and it wasn't what I expected it to be.
I liked it.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I said it wasn't what I expected it to be.
Dad, who signed these? I can't read.
I don't know. If they would have marketed it different, if they would have marketed it as Mandalorian Season 2.5, I would have liked it a lot better. I would have known more about what to expect. To call that show the Book of Boba Fett was... If you're looking at it from that perspective as a Boba Fett show, it's kind of disappointing. There are some pretty good aspects to it. There are some redeeming elements. It's just there are some parts I really didn't like. But there were parts of that show that I absolutely loved. Just most of those parts were Mandalorian scenes. But the Mandalorian won me over. I'll say that. I wasn't fond of the Mandalorian when it first came out. Like, I wasn't looking forward to it. But after that first episode, I was fucking hooked. That was a great, great episode, and it's a great show. It's one of my absolute favorite shows. Again, not really looking forward to Cassian Andor, but after watching the previews, now I am. Wasn't looking forward to the Bad Batch sequel to Clone Wars about some, clones with mutations that I've never heard of before. That seemed like it was going to be lame. That show is absolutely freaking awesome. But when they announced Kenobi as basically Revenge of the Sith Part 2, this is the show I've been waiting for. This is the show I've always been, like, since they announced it. This is the one I wanted to see. And it's here. And it's everything I hoped it would be. It's amazing. It's amazing. So please, please, if you haven't seen Episode 3, make it a point to go watch Episode 3. Yeah, that I feel was a bit of a waste. I wasn't too fond of the whole Vespa gang. A lot of it, though, I did like. A lot of people didn't like the whole Tusken Raider thing, like him being part of the Tusken tribe. I liked that. I thought that was cool because we got to also like get a whole lot of like that Tusken culture, and I like that they brought back into canon that Tatooine used to be a water planet with forests and stuff like that too. It was very lush and watery and green like Earth. I like that that's back in canon. I actually really liked that stuff. I just didn't. I like Black Chrysanthemum being in it. That was really cool. The Rancor in it was really cool. There was a lot about that I did like. That was Boba Fett based. But there's no doubt about it. My favorite scene in that entire show was the scenes with Luke and Grogu, and that shouldn't be true for a Boba Fett show. I mean, there was 2 episodes, one where Boba Fett wasn't even in it at all, and the second episode he literally was in it for like 20 seconds and I don't even think he had a line. I think the second episode he was in it, but he didn't even speak. He was just in the very end of the show, and Fennec was talking. So that to me was like kind of brought me out of the whole Boba Fett experience of that being a Boba Fett show. But as Mandalorian Season 2.5 was awesome. To see Luke Skywalker and Ahsoka having a conversation, come on. I love Star Wars. That's a moment I've been waiting to see for years. I wish they didn't die off too. I agree, leader. But I did like what they did there with the Tuskens. And they were making a second season. I don't know if they're all dead. Like the female that trained him, I don't think she was in that village when they got killed. When they all got killed. When the village, was slaughtered. So, and it's, unfortunately, if you're a Tusken, like that's your fate. If you're not slaughtered by someone holding a lightsaber, you're slaughtered by someone, flying a gunship.
Damn. That's rough.
It's Tuskens, man. It's not an easy life. yes, I agree. Grogu and Luke and Ahsoka, that should have been in Mando. I 100% agree with that. I also feel that them doing that in the Book of Boba Fett show kind of defeats the purpose of the season 2 Mandalorian finale, where he gave Grogu to Luke. Whereas, okay, so now in between, let's say you didn't watch Book of Boba Fett. Let's say, like, I don't want to watch Book of Boba Fett. I'm not really a Boba Fett fan, but Mandalorian's great. So you watch the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, you don't watch the Book of Boba Fett. So he gives Grogu to Luke, and then you start up with season 3, and Grogu's back with the Mandalorian, wearing Mandalorian chainmail, and you're like, well, wait a minute, what? That doesn't make any sense. How did this happen in between seasons? I mean, yeah, they'll probably explain it with like a flashback when Mandalorian season 3 starts, like, previously on Book of Boba Fett. But that's not how it should be. Those types of things should have been handled within the Mandalorian series, not the Boba Fett series. Yeah, no, Tamor Morrison, he did. And I freaking love him. Let me get this out there. The guy who played Pedro Pascal, the guy who plays the Mandalorian, Tamara Morrison, the girl who plays Fennec Shand, I can't remember her name off the top of my head. They're fantastic actors. I am not saying anything bad about the actors themselves. Like, I'm not a big fan of the sequels by Disney, but like John Boyega and stuff like that, like, the actors are fantastic. They did all they could with their scripts. So if I'm ever ragging on any of these characters, it's not the actor that I'm ragging on. It's just how the character was written. And just, I don't know, I write, so I take that stuff kind of personally. Especially if it's a multi-million-dollar franchise like Star Wars. Take the time to get the writing right. But yeah, no, he's awesome. And he loves playing not just the character. Like, what a sweet deal he has. He was Jango Fett, and because of the cloning that takes place in the series, in the franchise, he also plays Boba Fett, and he also plays every single clone that will ever appear. So if Rex is in it, if Cody's in it, if there's any clones in the Obi-Wan show, he gets to play all those people because he is Tamara Morrison. What a freaking sweet deal. So, but yeah, love that guy. I'm going to go ahead and close out the stream here, though, in a couple of minutes. I feel I've rambled enough. And, but yeah, if you guys have anything else you do want to throw in, by all means, go ahead and punch that into the stream. I will give it, like I said, a couple of minutes before I close it out. But I do want to thank you all for coming and just listening to me, you know, ramble on about video games and Star Wars. You know, but that and horror writing and watching scary movies, and that's my life.
Stranger Things.
Well, cool. I'll have to catch it off and on as I'm doing stuff. But
That's his first episode.
and yes, I've never seen Stranger Things. And my son has been telling me to watch Stranger Things. He loves it.
Okay, channel access don't own
And everybody at work is extremely like, you like 80s horror and you don't watch Stranger Things? I'm like, no. So I'm like getting yelled at. So apparently I've heard that it's really good. And apparently this is something that I need to watch. So, yeah. Gonna watch some Stranger Things off and on throughout the day. So... yeah, I'm a little bit of a Star Wars guy. Don't get me wrong, I know my Star Trek too. Just saying, if I had to choose one franchise, it would definitely be StarArs. But thanks to Pockets, I have been all caught up now on Star Trek lore. And I am also a Trekkie. So I do actually really like Star Trek.
I'm not a Trekkie. I am a Trekkie. You cannot call yourself a Trekkie. No.
Okay, explain to me what happened at the end of Star Trek Voyager.
I don't watch those.
That would mean you're not a
movies.
Trekkie.
I know the movies.
I'm definitely.
I know the movies.
I did not like Star Trek Voyager.
I know. Yes, you did. We watched the whole thing. You just kept falling asleep at the end.
That's
Voyager was
not my
actually a
fault.
really good series. Deep Space Nine sucks. I won't watch Deep Space Nine. I've seen
I
all of
watched
Star Trek
one
Next Generation.
episode of that, and
Actually
that
is a
was-
really good
You're
series.
not missing out on
I can
anything.
appreciate Next
Sucks.
Generation now that I'm older. I appreciate a lot more. It's actually a really good series. You also cannot. Why can you not call yourself a Trekkie then? If you're going to call my knowledge into question, what do you not like and get into from Star Trek? There's a box set of it in our bedroom. The original Star Trek shows. Pockets absolutely loves Star Trek, but doesn't like the original Star Trek shows.
It's because they're silly. I know what they're
The
doing.
original shows, like before
I
the
don't mind
movies,
watching them, but,
with
like,
William Shatner
I've seen
and
how
Leonard
they were
Nimoy.
made. They
I
did a whole
absolutely love the old
thing.
shows.
They did
They're
a whole thing of
fantastic.
How they were made and stuff, and he's talking about how we get hit with a torpedo and we have to throw ourselves around.
That was for Generations.
And
That was Star Trek Generations, and that was, what's his face, Riker talking. I'm talking about the old shows.
yeah, they had the
But that was
thing on
Riker.
platform.
But that was Riker explaining Next Generation. They weren't explaining. But yeah, same thing for the old shows.
Yes.
But you're still getting your series is mixed up. The old shows are great. Deep Space Nine is boring as hell. I'm sorry. I've tried, man. I've tried so many times. And like Voyager, I was pretty skeptical of Voyager. And I'll admit, man, the first like 2 seasons of Voyager weren't the best. They really weren't. But once they brought 7 of 9 into it and started having like actual like seasonal arcs, and they were leading it to like an end game for the series at season 7, like it actually got good at season 2. Like the end of season 2, beginning of season 3, I was surprised, and I ended up getting really into Voyager. Like just as much, if not more, than Next Generation. Voyager is actually a really good show. I liked that a lot. It's a good series. Deep Space Nine, man, I just couldn't do it. It was... Storyline was kind of convoluted. Sitting on a space station, watching a wormhole. I couldn't take Quark, the alien, for some reason. I just found him annoying as absolute hell. I don't know. Just it didn't feel like Star Trek to me. My first experience with Star Trek was actually Next Generation. I mean, I did watch the old shows when they were on, but they were like reruns and catch them every once in a while. I have since gone back and watched the entire original Star Trek series, and I love it. I love it. I love the old shows. That's probably my favorite Star Trek anything, is the old television shows. I completely agree, to each their own. I can understand why you would like Deep Space Nine, why some people would. I can understand the interest. I'm not saying that it's terrible and nobody should ever watch it. Like, I might say that about the new Star Trek shows that are coming out now, like Star Trek Discovery. But beyond, I'm not going to get into that. But like, I can see the appeal with Deep Space Nine. It just didn't, to me, it didn't feel like Star Trek. It just didn't have that appeal for me. Quark, yeah, and yes, they did that very well. And again, I can appreciate that, Fuzzy, now that I'm older. It's not really a point when I was younger that annoying characters were supposed to be annoying, and that means they're written well. I didn't get that when I was younger. I just found it annoying. Now I can actually understand the brilliance of the actor in actually bringing that character to life. So I do get why people do like Deep Space Nine. I just couldn't get into it. I tried. I just couldn't get into it. But Voyager I did. I gave it a chance. I gave it an honest go, and I ended up watching all 7 seasons. I love it. But my favorite Star Trek anything is the original shows. So, cool, man. I am actually going. Yeah, I like the movies too, but the original shows, I love them to death. They're literally masterpieces. I love them. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna close out the stream now as well. I'm gonna let Leader go get his new Wi-Fi so he can go watch Kenobi Episode 3. Cool. Make sure you stop in at some point, maybe next weekend. Let me know how you liked it, so we can talk about it. It'd be great. Love you guys to death. Thank you so much for stopping in today for today's episode of Blood and Beans. Hope to see you this Saturday for the Season 1 finale of Confronting Evil, and I promise you it is going to be absolutely epic. And beyond that, have a safe Sunday, have a great Sunday, and we'll talk to you then. Have a good one.
Stay stew.
Bye-bye.